Hi, my name is Ashley, and this is my speech on Japanese rockabilly culture, and these are all of my speech notes. Okay. So imagine you were walking through Tokyo on a Sunday afternoon. You've just left the neon-soaked streets of Shinjuku or the high fashion boutiques of Harajuku. You step into the lush greenery of Yoyogi Park. You're probably expecting a quiet escape, but instead of silence, you hear the unmistakable crackling growl of an electric guitar. Then comes the voice, Elvis Presley singing Jailhouse Rock. As you round the corner, you see them, men in their 50s and 60s. They're all wearing like jet black leather jackets, and they're embroidered with this intricate Japanese kanji, and their hair is sculpted into towering, gravity-defying pompadours that kind of shine in the sun. And they're not just dancing, they're not just swaying, but they're executing like perfectly synchronized high energy spins and kicks. This is the world of Japanese rockabilly. It is a subculture by all accounts of logic and geography that shouldn't exist. Yet it has thrived in the heart of Tokyo for over 40 years. Today, I want to take you inside the retro movement to understand why a 1950s American subculture has found its most dedicated protectors and guardians thousands of miles away in Japan. So to understand why this is happening today, we have to look back. Rockabilly was born in the American South in the 1950s, a wild fusion of rock and roll and country music. It was the soundtrack of rebellion for young Americans, like Elvis Presley and Johnny Cash, who wanted to break free from the conservative norms of the post-war era. When this music arrived in Japan after World War II, it did not just come as a record. It came as a symbol of the new world. Japanese youth, they were eager to embrace Western culture. They wanted to see the films, they wanted to wear the fashion, and they really enjoyed the grit of rockabilly, and it had an intensity that was uniquely Japanese. While the genre faded here in America, evolving into psychedelic rock of the 60s and pop, it hit kind of a freeze frame in Japan. In the 1980s, a massive revival took hold in Harajuku, turning this vintage trend into a lifelong commitment. So one of my favorite parts of the rockabilly culture is the pompadour. One of the most striking things about rockabilly scene is the obsession with the detail. In the West, we often view subcultures as casual hobbies. In Japan, rockabilly is treated with the same reverence as a traditional art form, like the art of calligraphy or the ancient tea ceremony. So if you take the fashion, for instance, the pompadour hairstyle is not just a quick do, quick comb over. It is an absolute feat of engineering. Some of the men spend over an hour every single morning using specialized hair products and techniques to ensure not a single hair is out of place. The leather jackets are haute couture, meaning they are custom made by Japanese craftsmen. They also feature hand-stitched embroidery that blends American iconography like eagles with Japanese symbols. This isn't cosplay as we think of it as, or costume. This is shokunin, and it is the spirit of a craftsman. If a Japanese rockabilly enthusiast is going to do something, then they're going to do it with like more precision and dedication than the original creators ever did. So, the structured rebellion. You might wonder, why do these men, many of whom have corporate jobs, regular guy jobs during the week, choose to spend their Sundays dressed as 1950s greasers? The answer lies in the unique way Japanese society balances conformity and individuality. Japan is a culture that highly values harmony and fitting in. For many, the rockabilly scene provides structured rebellion. It is bold, it is loud, and it looks defiant, but within the groups themselves, there is kind of a deep sense of discipline. They have hierarchies. The younger dancers learn from the veterans. Their dances are choreographed and practiced for hours. It allows them to express a wilder side of their personality without completely rejecting and abandoning the societal values of hard work and respect. It's a way to be a rebel, but a rebel with a built-in community. So this phenomenon tells us something profound about cultural exchange. We often worry that globalization makes us homogenous. It makes us the same, makes the world the same. But the Japanese rockabilly scene proves the opposite. It shows that culture is fluid. It doesn't belong to the place where it was born. It belongs to the people who care for it the most. In many ways, Japan has become the world's cultural archivist, the keeper of history. Whether it's 1950s rockabilly, vintage American Levi's, or even mid-century jazz, Japan takes these global fragments and preserves them in their own time capsule, and they refuse to close it. They aren't just imitating American history. They are keeping a flame alive that has long since blown out over here in our country. As we wrap up, let's go back to our Yoyogi Park. The music is fading as the sun begins to set over the Tokyo skyline. The dancers are wiping the sweat from their brows, careful not to mess up their hair. They pack up their portable speakers and prepare to return to their everyday lives. But they'll be back next Sunday, and the Sunday after that. The Tokyo rockabilly scene is a reminder that passion for anything knows no borders. It teaches us that we can find identity in the most unexpected places, even in the music of a country thousands of miles away from a time before we were even born. So the next time you think a tradition is dead, remember the leather-clad dancers of Tokyo. As long as there is someone willing to put in the work, to style the hair, and to dance around with the tightest of dance moves, the spirit of the rebel will never truly go out of style. Thank you.